social media for electric cooperatives. Today, let's talk about posting in case of emergency. There are several things that you should share with your members before, during, and after a storm strikes your service area. First, let's talk about what to do before the storm. Before a storm strikes your service area and possibly impacts your members, share safety tips and news. Remember to like the safety community and ask your members to like their local FEMA groups. Let your members know how they need to report an outage. That's something you're going to have to do several times. And be sure throughout the entire experience, but be sure, especially at the onset, to set their expectations. Let them know when you're going to be there and what you're doing to prepare for the storm. Now let's look at a couple examples of how co-ops have done all four of these items before the storm. Safety tips and news are always great things to share with your members when you think there's a possibility of a storm on the horizon. Here are a few examples from Clay Electric: a slight risk for severe weather in our service area today, according to the National Weather Service. Be careful and stay safe. Simple, basic messages. It's really just a heads up to your members. Singing River Electric does a great job of this. They share, please stay alert to changing weather conditions. Our crews are ready to respond, and dispatch is monitoring the weather in our area 24/7. Be careful, Merry Christmas. Just a general, hey guys, this might come down our way. Be prepared. Some folks also share storm centers. A lot of us have these on our websites. Why not remind your members that those resources are there for them? Here's a great example from Florida Keys Electric Cooperative. I've also seen a lot of folks share maps of a storm that they're tracking. It's a great visual to include. It'll really catch your members' attention and let them know that you are the person to go to know what's happening with the storm. And here's one last example of safety tips and news from Mason County Public Utility District. They said, here we go, folks. It's a great tone there. The National Weather Service says a storm is on its way, and they kind of let the members know what to expect and provide a full report on their website. I'd also encourage you to like the safety community. When we're talking about social media, we often encourage folks to like other groups in their community. But are you reaching out to like your emergency management office? If not, I would highly recommend you do so. Kenergy did this in Kentucky, and Renee, their communicator, said by asking their FEMA groups to post the co-op's website or their Facebook page, that they were able to get 200 likes over one weekend alone. That's working with your emergency management groups. And here's a sample post from Kenergy referring people back to those emergency management groups to like their pages. Build a strong relationship with those groups in the community before a storm strikes. Make sure your members know about them because they can get some great information there. And if you do it, the groups are likely to share your page's updates as well. You also want to let your members know how to report. Most of us do this just by sharing a general phone number, but I loved this idea from Blue Ridge Electric in North Carolina. They have a video which shares the information that is needed when you're reporting an outage. Here are a few more examples from Bark Electric. They said, is it raining? It sure is here in Millboro. Keep in mind that the moisture tends to increase the number of blinks in our system. If you experience those momentary outages, give us a call, and they give the number. Chickasaw Electric does the exact same thing. If you need to report power outages, please call, and they provide their number. This is something you're going to have to hammer throughout the entire storm, but start early to make sure members know how to reach you. You also want to set expectations. Here's a member in Virginia. She's asking her co-op, will someone be keeping this Facebook page updated when able throughout the storm? It's really important to let them know when you're going to be updating it, what kind of information they can expect to get from you. And here's another member saying, just reiterating the point, they want to know what to expect. She says, I know it's silly, but I appreciated getting an email saying that REC is going to be ready. Set those expectations early. It's also great to let folks know what you're doing to prepare. Here's a wonderful example from Smacko in Maryland. They explain exactly how many linemen are standing by ready, not just from their co-op, but from co-ops all over the area. And at the end, you see they again include their outage reporting number. It's also fun to show what you're going to be dealing with from San Miguel Power Association. They show a picture of their service territory, just quick pictures to show what the weather is like, what conditions you're going to have to work in is a great idea to get your members to understand the scope of the oncoming storm. Here's another great picture from SMECO to show the emergency response team. Pictures like this, again, set the expectation the members know you are ready, you are prepared. And before we wrap up what you do before the storm, keep an ear out for any rumors that might be flying around. Here's an example from Delaware Electric. They had a rumor going around that the co-op was going to shut off powers in some areas that were anticipating flooding. And they had to say, no, we will not be turning off power during the storm. Listen to your communities, know what your members are saying, and be ready to quell any rumors that might arise before the storm strikes. So before a storm hits, 4 things to remember to share: safety tips and news. That's really easy for you to pull together in advance. Like the safety community and remind your members of other resources that'll be helpful during a storm. Let them know how to report their outages. That's something you're going to have to do again and again. And set their expectations. Let them know you are ready, you are there, and what you're going to be sharing on your Facebook page or Twitter feed before the storm strikes.